What's up, guys? Kamikaze Fox coming to you from SRL Season 8, Round 19, the Miami Grand Prix here on F1 2022 for the PlayStation platform. Coming off of Round 18 in Mexico last time out, we saw an amazing race at the Mexico Grand Prix where newcomer Simone Mara made his SRL debut, walking away with his first pole position of the season, plus his first win of the season, followed by Jensen Randall in second, and Tim Ventic trying to close that championship points gap that we're going to talk about here in just a couple minutes, but Tim Ventic picking up his 9th podium of the season, and it was his first podium since round 10 of the season. Luke Smith would walk away with 4th place, Friab Bile was 5th, Vincenzo Torri 6th, Sandro Dulia 7th, your Season 4 champion Nick Van Gelder finished 8th, Dion Stahl was 9th, and Nicolo Falzarezzi was 10th, rounding out your top 10 points paying positions. '11th was Robin Herterstegen. Logan Aron, championship points leader, spun out with a couple of laps to go, ended up walking away with 12th and not any points. Oleski was 13th, Ivan Brito would finish 14th, and then 15th through 17th was all DNFs. Cameron Weston Edwards, George Wilkes, and Guillermo Garcia all picking up DNFs, unfortunately. And coming into today's race, Logan Aron, still your championship points leader, and even though Tim Ventic was able to close the gap down, it's still a 50-point spread as we head into today's race. Logan Aron basically needs to outscore Tim Ventic by 2 points in order to secure this championship, which would be amazing if the American could do it at an American track. We are looking forward to seeing if that would happen today. Ironically, yes, the U.S. Grand Prix is taking place today in real life at Formula One. We'll run down the driver lineup as we wait for a couple of more drivers to show up. Sandro Dulius is going to be in the Ferrari today. Robin Herterstegen is going to be in the McLaren. Harley Collins, who's made his SRL debut last time out as well, be in the AlphaTauri. Vincenzo Torri is in the Alfa Romeo. And Panther LOL08 is going to be Noah Smith, making his SRL debut as a reserve as well in the McLaren, filling in for Cameron Weston Edwards. Tim Ventic in the Haas, Friab Bile in the Alpine. Senna Haywire is going to be in the Aston Martin. He's also going to have infamous Max Mulder in his ear today, being the race engineer, trying to see if he can strategize his way to some points today. Luke Smith is going to be in the Mercedes. Logan Aron in the Haas. Yoma Rusic making his way back in the Red Bull. Christian Dorman in the Williams. Nick Van Gelder is going to be in the other Red Bull. Nicolo Falzarezzi in the Alfa Romeo. Dion Stahl in the Ferrari. And, of course, me and Max Mulder, as I said, be spectating. Senna Haywire be his race engineer for today's race. Also on tap, we're going to have a number of people running some special liveries on their helmets today. So, once again, Sandro Dulius has done some quick calculations, and basically if Logan finishes 1st through 8 and Tim finishes behind him, then Logan will win the championship. Logan needs to outscore Tim by 2 points, which is what we'd already talked about. Senna Haywire is going to have his work cut out for him. As we said, Max Mulder will be his race engineer for the day, as he's going to be spectating him, trying to help him work his way through the field. Senna Haywire also has a qualifying ban, so he'll be starting from the back. He'll definitely have his work cut out for him. Noah Smith making his SRL debut, filling in for Cameron Weston Edwards. And Harley Collins filling in at AlphaTauri. So we are going to get set to do an 18-minute short qualifying session, followed by a 50% race, and it has been quite a season leading up to this. Again, Logan Aron could secure the championship today here in Miami. The American himself from Pennsylvania, just a few short 18-hour drive to Miami for him, I'm sure. Actually, Miami's about 3 hours south of me, so it's probably about a 24-hour drive for Logan. But he could fly there and be there within 5. Nonetheless, a home track for Logan Aron. Be great to see an American driver secure the championship at an American track. And it looks like we've had Ivan Brito join in the Aston Martin. Waiting for a couple of more drivers to show up. But it has all led up to this. As we said, Tim Ventic secured his 9th podium of the season, which has kept him in championship contention. Logan Aron's got 270 points, 50 points behind him, Tim Ventic. Oleski, who was a championship contender early on in the season, kind of suffered through the middle part, made a bit of a resurgence a few rounds ago, but didn't put any points on the board last time out. Currently third in points, battling it out with Nicolo Falzaresi for that position. Oleski has 178 to his credit, Nicolo Falzaresi 159. And Friab Bile, who hasn't raced a full season, but also hasn't finished outside of the top 6 in any of his races, currently with 136 points to his credit. He sits atop Vincenzo Torri in the points standings, as Vincenzo has 129, Sandro Dulius with 119. Jensen Randall, who is a reserve driver, has 101. Max Mulder, even though he's been suspended for the rest of the season, still sits 9th in the points standings with 85. It's a shame what happened to him. And then Luke Smith is another reserve driver, also in the top 10 in points with 79 to his credit. It looks like we do have Sam Brandt on the live chat. Good to see him. Sandro Dulius saying it's Miami Vice mode today. And NSG, let's go. Whippo Film. Yes, nice. Miami on the Miami F1 weekend. Yes, indeed. It's nice for me to actually catch an F1 race at a normal freaking time. So yay me. I live 3 hours north of Miami. So one day I will hopefully be able to make it to the actual Miami Grand Prix. But that's not going to be today. And there is Simone Mara, who made his SRL debut last time out. Picked up his first pole position and a win. Not many drivers have done that on their SRL debut. He's one of very few to do that, and showed that he's going to be a threat if he races full-time next season as we head into season 10 next year. So 10 seasons, 9 years that SRL has been doing this. Simone Mara in the Mercedes-AMG Petronas as we wait for a couple of more drivers to show up. We're almost ready to go as we get ready to run this 18-minute short qualifying session, followed by a 50% race, 29 laps today. And what possibly have come down to this? It's been an interesting championship battle. 9 podiums this year for Tim Ventic, 10 podiums for Logan Aron. They both have a number of wins. Logan has 8 wins, 10 pole positions. Tim Ventic, not as many wins, but he has stayed in contention. Tim has been more consistent with his points finishes than Logan. Logan happens to have more wins, which has garnered him more points. But I do believe Logan has a few more DNFs and a couple of more finishes outside of the points than Tim, which has allowed Tim to stay within contention leading into today's race. As we get ready to start, the countdown is on, 20 seconds to go. And Harley Collins made his debut last time out. Actually, he made his debut round 17 at Singapore. Unfortunately, that did not go well for him. Singapore was a heck of a race. He ended up with a DNF in his debut. Simone Mara ended up with a win last time out in his debut, so we'll see if Harley can make up for that. Harley also raced in the Project Cars 2 GT3 Championship for a couple of rounds, as that has wrapped up its season, and hopefully we'll move on to bigger and better things next year. So here at Miami, not too familiar with this track. I believe this is the first game that Miami has been on, and it is the second year that F1 has raced there. And I could be wrong about that. I don't remember them doing Miami last season. Or maybe I do. Everything runs together. So here we go. Oh, and we've got rain in Miami already. That is actually pretty common, especially considering the time of day that the dude would be racing. We'll get some lap data. We'll get the track map going. Wet qualifying session does not necessarily mean it'll be a wet race, but we'll see who does what here. Usually Logan Aron is the first one out of the pits. However, on the times that it has been wet qualifying, he's usually the last one out of the pits. We see the engineers at Simone Mara's garage getting ready to let him out. Looks like one of the other cars is getting ready to leave the pit. So there goes Simone Mara as he leaves to head out on his out lap. And it looks like Nicolo Falzaresi was the first one to leave. So Falzaresi out on the intermediates. He'll be the first one to start a hot lap. We're right along with him on this out lap. Get a look at this winding street course. So Formula One doing a lot more street courses these days, coming back to back in real life. They did Baku last week, the streets of Azerbaijan, and then you've got Miami this week. In SRL, we had Singapore not that long ago, a couple of rounds ago. You see how tight it is through here, tiptoeing through that little section there, out onto this long back straightaway. And Nicolo Falzaresi has shown flashes of speed this year, made quite the resurgence in the middle part of this season. Had a really bad start last time out. He started second, dropped through the field on the initial start, got caught up in a couple of melees, and ended up having a bad race. And Falzaresi now on a timed lap as he heads through Sector 1. Trying to get the power down, get some wheel spin coming out of that corner. Got some S's coming up, tiptoeing through here. Got to be careful with those curbs on this wet track. Though when he runs a little wide, very big understeer, diamonds the corner to get it back under control. Doesn't give him the greatest exit. And now through this very fast, sweeping straightaway, if you will. Full throttle through here, and then you have this very, very tricky set of corners. And you got this weird little left-right, not quite a chicane, but very slow through there. They could, reminiscent of the Singapore Sling when the track first came out, had that weird chicane that's very reminiscent of that. They could probably do without. And we've got a caution flag flying in Sector 1. Looks like that might be one of the Mercedes around, or possibly the Aston Martin. I'm not good at telling my colors apart. And Nicolo Falzaresi is going to set the time of 1:35.073. He'll be the first one to set a time. Harley Collins still in the pits. We'll pick up Robin Herderstagen. As we've seen Simone Mara come across the line, 1:35.162 for him. Robin Herderstagen in the McLaren. His teammate out this weekend. That would be Cameron Weston Edwards. But Noah Smith filling in for him today in the other McLaren. So at least have two McLarens on track. 17 drivers for today's race. And here we go. See some other times coming across the line. Vincenzo Torri with a 1:36.399. Jirma Rusic with a 1:39.051. Let's see what Robin Herderstagen can do. And he goes fourth quickest with a 1:37.529. Good on him. We'll pick up Tim Ventic. And he comes across the line, 1:36.046. We'll pick up Ivan Burrito. And Ivan has gone 1:59.221, so that is not a... He may have been the driver that had some issues. Let's pick up Noah Smith here on his SRL debut in the McLaren. Currently in Sector 2, coming down the back straightaway. And Simone Mara just went fastest with a 1:34.233. He's the only driver to crack into the 1:34s. So he did 2 consecutive hot laps. He went 1:35.1, then a 1:34.2, 9/10 of a second quicker than his previous lap as we watched Noah Smith come across the line. 1:35.761, good enough for third quickest. Great qualifying effort for him on his SRL debut. And let's pick up Nick Van Gelder, your Season 4 champion, currently in Sector 2. See if Nick's got anything in the tank for this race this weekend. Be good to see the Season 4 champ get back to his old form. He has struggled a bit this season. 3 consecutive DNFs in the middle of the season. Spent most of my time with him in the booth here. And it's always great to have a driver's perspective, but see this very odd chicane set up there. Very slow and lopey through that section. He's purple in Sector 2, so good for Nick. See if he can continue that momentum down through the rest of this lap as he comes down to this final corner here. Well, final kind of corner. You've got this left-right dog leg here. A little bit of a twitch there as he tries to get the power down. Now coming out of the final corner, and it's going to be a 1:38.433. Good enough for 8th quickest on the charts, right in front of his teammate. And Nicolo Falzaresi, Sandro Dulia sets a time, 4th quickest, 1:35.481. That's what I was trying to find. Let's pick up Christian Dorman. He's yet to set a time. And just a quick note, in 16th position, Senna Haywire is on an out lap. He is allowed to do that even though he has a qualifying ban. As long as he does not set a time, he will be fine. Looks like we have a caution flag flying Sector 1, 2, and 3. Now 1 and 2. As Christian Dorman comes across the line, 9th quickest, 1:37.929. We'll go back and pick up Tim Ventic. Looks like Tim might be... Yeah, Tim's on a... well, we've got a caution flag flying, so he's not necessarily on a hot lap. It looks like he might have also invalidated his lap time. There's Friad Belay. We haven't talked a whole lot about him, but currently 5th quickest, 1:35.590. So Noah Smith, who qualified 3rd, quickly dropped through the ranks. 1:35.761 is his time. Good enough for 6th now. And 9 minutes left to play in this 18-minute session. So we're halfway through this qualifying session. Looks like... yellow flags flying everywhere. Sectors 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, now 3. And that is the area in which Christian Dorman is coming up on. And Noah Smith behind him. So 1:34.927. And that means Noah goes 2nd quickest, and I believe the track is starting to dry out. Looks like the rain has stopped. So the rain has stopped. The track's starting to come alive a little bit. Times are going to start to fall. See, Simone Mara is on an out lap, and it looks like he is on some soft tires, so he has made the switch over to slicks. And looks like Nicolo Falzaresi was also on slicks. And I believe Falzaresi may be the first driver we're going to be able to catch on the slick tires. Or possibly Friad Belay. He went 1:33.898. I don't think that's... I think he's still on intermediate. So Friad Belay, currently your pole sitter. 7:45 left to play in the session, but we've got drivers making the switch over to the slicks. We're riding along with Nicolo Falzaresi right now. Oh, there's a car right in the center of the track. And that might have been Simone Mara with the slicks. And now Falzaresi is done. And it wasn't Simone Mara. That was the other Mercedes. that Luke Smith? Yep, it was Luke Smith that was sitting in the middle of the track while Falzaresi was on a hot lap, and maybe the track was not ready for slicks. So, bad day. That's going to be bad for Falzaresi as we pick up Vincenzo Torri. Vincenzo Torri is still on intermediate tires, so he is going to drop through the ranks. Falzaresi is going to be locked in at that 135.073, and that's going to be bad news bears for him as this track starts to come alive and the slicks are going on some of these cars. So let's pick up Simone Mara. He'll be the first driver now that we can pick up that's going to be on slicks. And there's that very, very hard left-hander. You got to kind of diamond the corner, NASCAR style. Vincenzo Torri goes 133.578. Remember, he's still on those intermediate tires. We have a Red Bull in the middle of the track. Looks like that was Jurma Rusic, so he's going to be locked in at a 139.051. Simone Mara manages to thread the needle down that back straightaway. Doesn't lose any time, it looked like. And coming through this very, very goofy final section here as he gets ready to come out onto the back straightaway. And that is... You know, I'm not going to lie, the track itself is not a bad track except for that little section there. That is a real pooper set of corners for these guys to try and work their way through. Very tight left-hander hairpin, and then you've got this sweeping left-right as he comes across the line, and we're going to be well into the 120s here. It's a 128.933, 5.3 seconds faster than his previous lap. That is your provisional pole time set by Simone Mara. And it doesn't look like anybody is really on a timed lap. We've got Harley Collins. Oh, Harley Collins has a flat left rear and a flat right front. That is, how did he manage to do that? That's impressive. Not good, but it's impressive nonetheless. So we got a lot of guys on out laps right now. We'll pick up Senna Haywire. And Senna, again, cannot set a time. So he'll have to dive back into the pits. And Senna did not dive back into the pits. Maybe that was his out lap. Whoa! And a big smack into the wall for Senna Haywire in a qualifying here and broke his front wing. I'm surprised he didn't break the suspension, so he'll be done. We'll pick up Harley Collins here. I'm sorry, this is Noah Smith. Fourth quickest so far. That was under the wet conditions on the intermediate tires. Currently on the soft tires now. Championship points leader Logan Aron still sitting in the pits. Oh, and Harley just invalidated that lap time, so he is going to be donezo for that lap. I'm sorry, that was Noah. I keep getting Noah and Harley mixed up. Don't worry, guys. I'll eventually get it right. We'll pick up Ivan Brito. He's on an invalidated lap time. Pick up Robin Herderstagen. 9th quickest so far. Looks like he's on a time lap down the back straightaway. And 129.562, that's not a bad time for Robin Herderstagen in comparison to Simone Mara. Is there more speed left in these cars? That's a great qualifying effort for Robin. And we see Christian Dorman just went third quickest with a 1:29.715. So let's see here. Who can we pick up? We got Nick Van Gelder, Season 4 champion. Whoa, and he runs way wide at that corner. He didn't invalidate the lap time, but that's going to cost him a little bit of time. Caution flag flies Sector 1 and Sector 3. You can hear the tires kind of trying to find the grip here for Van Gelder. Ooh, and a little bit of a twitch there. Some snap oversteer from Van Gelder there for a hot second. He does like a loose race car, that's for sure. Both sounded like he brushed the wall coming out of that corner. Down the back straightaway. Looks like he's got one of the McLarens behind him. Caution flag flies Sector 2. And Nick has got to work on his brake bias. So here comes Nick across the line, and he goes second quickest with a 1:29.445. I'm sorry, third quickest. Noah Smith still second quickest. Vincenzo Torri. So here we go. We are going to pick up Logan Aron. He is yet to set a time. And he is coming around now to start his one and only timed lap. He's going all or nothing here on this qualifying effort. A league-leading 10 pole positions this year. Can Logan Aron do it again here at his home Grand Prix? The man from Pennsylvania trying to lock in the championship for himself here on American soil. And he loses the back end and he goes around, does a 360, keep it going. He's not necessarily out of it yet. He can still set a time. He hasn't given up on the lap. Free Abile just went 1:28 flat. That's 9/10 of a second quicker than Simone Mara. Time is up. Hot laps will count as we continue to ride along with Logan Aron. No time set, in a one-ditch effort. He did a pirouette. He's kept it going and see where he can qualify. He can at least crack into the top 12, possibly even the top 10. Simone Mara, 1:26.737. Forget about it, Free Abile. 1.3 seconds quicker goes Simone Mara over Free Abile. Continue to ride along with Logan Aron. Meanwhile, Tim Ventic is also on a timed lap. He's 1:35.366 so far. Here comes Logan. What can he do? And even with the spin, he goes 1:34.38. Currently good enough for 9th quickest. We'll pick up Tim Ventic, the other championship contender, and he's invalidated his lap time. He'll be starting behind Logan Aron in today's Grand Prix. We'll pick up Sandro Dulius. He's currently on a timed lap as well. Coming towards the end of his lap. And he is going to go 1:28.468, good enough for 3rd quickest on the charts. We'll pick up Vincenzo Torri, who just went 4th quickest. Dion Stahl comes across the line, and he's good enough for 11th. Tim Ventic on the invalidated lap time, and that is going to do it. Unbelievable qualifying session. So, a massive shout out to Logan Aron, who tried to do the one-shot qualifying, spun the car, and still managed to put it into the top 10 on qualifying. And Simone Mara, back-to-back pole positions for the newcomer to SRL, a 1:26.7 smashes Free Abile's time by 1.2 seconds. So Simone Mara quickly making a name for himself, as he will be starting on pole position for the 2nd time in a row. Free Abile is in 2nd. Sandro Dulius with a great qualifying effort 3rd. Vincenzo Torri 4th. Newcomer Noah Smith will be starting in 5th. Nick Van Gelder with a great effort starting in 6th. Robin Herterstegen with also a great effort in 7th. Christian Dorman 9th. Harley Collins will be starting in 9th. And Logan Aron 10th. Dion Stahl will be starting in the 11th spot. Nicolo Falzarezzi, 12th. Tim Ventic, 13th. Set his best time on the intermediates. I guess maybe he thought the weather was going to come back to him. Luke Smith, we saw him have that spin and crash. Be starting outside. And we'll run down to that running order again here on the formation lap. What a wild qualifying session. Even Nick Van Gelder on the live chat saying that what a crazy qualifying session. And Jesper Lempinen saying that Nick will win the championship next year. And Sam Brandt bringing up a good point. Senna did possibly invalidate his lap time on purpose to avoid setting a timed lap. That possibly a gray area in the rule books. So it does look like we have some sunshine here for race day. Jurma Rusic had a tire puncture. And Nick saying he is excited for this race. Sam Brandt saying Simone is going to be a treat for next year. You say that, and I say it'll be another Jensen Randall walkaway championship next year if he continues to run the way he's running. So not so much of a treat, if you ask me. Maybe I'm just biased because I hate Mercedes that much. So we'll run down the formation lap here, along with the running order. Simone Mara, 2 races, 2 pole positions in a row. Can he back it up with another win? Friab Bile starting in 2nd spot, still looking for that illustrious first win. He has not finished outside of the top 6 since joining SRL. Sandro Dulius, again, a great qualifying effort for him, starting in the 3rd spot. Vincenzo Torri will be 4th, and newcomer Noah Smith starting in the 5th position, making his SRL debut. Nick Van Gelder, your Season 4 champion, be starting on the medium tires in the 6th position, followed by Robin Herdestag. We don't often see him running in the top 10. Great qualifying effort for him in the changing conditions. He'll be followed by Christian Dorman in the Williams. And Harley Collins trying to make up for Singapore, where he crashed out. He's starting in the 9th position. Hopefully he can put some points on the board. And Logan Aron, your championship points leader, he needs to outscore Tim Ventic by 2 points to lock up the championship here on home soil. He spun during qualifying, but still managed to put the car in the top 10. A great qualifying effort by him. Dion Stahl will be starting in 11th, and then Nicolo Falzarezzi will be 12th. Tim Ventic, 50 points behind Logan Aron, and did not get into the top 10. Looks like he might be struggling with some understeer through that corner. That's even on the formation lap. He'll be starting in the 14th position. 13th. Ivan Brito will be starting in the 14th position. And he has gone around under the formation lap. Not how you would want to start a race. His teammate Senna Haywire will be starting dead last as he had a qualifying ban. And then, of course, Luke Smith and Jurma Rusic. Luke was crashed. Well, he didn't completely total the car, but had that crash in qualifying. He'll be starting in the 15th position. And Jurma Rusic set his time on the intermediates, then crashed out. He was locked in at a 139. That's going to be good enough for 16th. You see Senna trying to put some heat into those tires. And that is going to round out your 17 cars for today's race. 29 laps here at Miami, Florida. Let's see if we can get a halfway decent camera angle, but apparently that's not going to be the case. So the 5 red lights. Lights out, time to run with your brung, and they're away in a puff of smoke. It looks like it's a good start for Simone and Sandro Dulius, but it looks like Dulius is falling through the things here. And all the way on the inside, that is Christian Dorman in the Williams. And he moves his way up into 3rd and shoulder checks a bunch of cars along the way. And Logan Aron is up into 9th. Harley Collins up to 11th. Tim Ventic still 14th. We've got some action side by side here as they head through these set of corners. This is Senna Haywire has moved up into the 15th position. Jurma Rusic and Dion Stahl The big losers in that, Yuri Marushit's all the way down to 17th. Dion Stahl into 16th position. And Simone Mara, looks like there's a battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th here. And this is Vincenzo Torri to the inside of Christian Dorman. And then you've got Noah Smith trying to go around the outside here, which becomes the inside. He gets the position. Sandro has fallen back into 6th after starting 3rd. Part of that was the shoulder check from Christian Dorman, who's worked his way up into 3rd spot. And Friat Bile trying to stick with Simone Mara here, the top spot. And Vincenzo and Noah still going back and forth for this 4th position. And now you've got Nick Van Gelder trying to get around Sandro Dulius. They're side by side as they head down the front straightaway. Sandro's going to take the more defensive line. And this is some tight walls. This is not the best. Oh, and Harley Collins is retired from the session. As we continue to watch this battle, and it looks like virtual safety car. So Harley Collins, unfortunately, 2 SRL races under his belt, 2 DNFs. Perhaps Formula One racing is not for him. So still under the virtual safety car, and some of these guys are spreading their gaps. Virtual safety car, always a bit controversial, trying to stay within that time delta. And Harley Collins has officially left the session. So the question is, does anybody try to take advantage of the virtual safety car since it's gone on so long? Does anybody try to take advantage and maybe swap over to a different set of tires this early in the race, which certainly changed the complexion a little bit? Tire strategy be key. Nothing on the first couple of drivers. Looks like everybody's going to stay out for the most part. And back to green flag racing. DRS is enabled, and we're going to pick up Noah Smith, who's got a train of cars behind him. And look at this, Logan Aron battling side by side with Robin Herderstagen for the 8th position. Meanwhile, Sandro Dulius is all over the back of Harley Collins. I'm sorry, Noah Smith. Damn Harley and Noah. It's going to keep happening. You put 2 new guys in the race at the same time, I'm going to mix their names up. So to the inside goes Sandro. He's got the DRS slot open. Here comes Noah back to the inside. Nick Van Gelder going to try and be a part of this 3-car battle here. Nick's going to try and go to the inside of Noah. It looks like they might have touched a little bit. So Noah's going to get pushed wide. Nick's going to pick up the 6th position. And I got to tell you, the camera angles here at this track are just way too close to find really good passing angles. I know it's a street course and the walls are kind of close together, but man, and it looks like you've got Logan Aron now side by side with Luke Smith. That's a good battle. Luke goes around the outside. Logan's still trying to get the inside line. Luke's going to win out in that corner. And Ivan Brito is now retired from the session. And full course caution. And is this another virtual safety car? And it looks like the actual safety car is coming out onto track now. See some of the guys driving past it. Here comes the Ferrari. There is the safety car. So we've lost Harley Collins and Ivan Brito. And now we've had a virtual safety car. We're under our first safety car, and we're only 4 laps into this race. And I'm sure we will get some pit stops under this caution, no doubt. Friabile has been able to stay within striking distance of Simone Mara. If Simone made a mistake, Friab would certainly be able to capitalize on it. Now, the timing and scoring is obviously going to get spread out just a little bit here under the safety car. So we're going to see who's going to make the pit stops here as they come down this back straightaway. Now, Simone is running the hard tires. He could potentially stay out, but it looks like he's going to... And it looks like he is going to stay out. So is Friabile. He will stay out as well. So anybody going to take advantage here? Looks like Vincenzo Torri is going to come in and make a pit stop. Van Gelder stays out. Sandro stays out. Looks like Noah Smith is coming in. Right now, those are the only two drivers that have decided to dive into the pits. So we're going to see if those guys can take advantage of it. And Sam Brandt saying, imagine if red flags return to the game next year. You know, EA Sports is certainly trying to make that happen for F1 2023 to install the red flag system into the game depending on the severity of the crash. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to pick up the crashes of Harley Collins or Ivan Brito. Collins brought out the virtual safety car. Ivan Brito has brought out the full safety car this time. And looks like the cars have caught up to the safety car. So Simone Mara is still your leader. Friabile behind him. Christian Dorman making that full send pass on 3 cars at the opening lap heading into turn 1. Nick Van Gelder has worked his way up into 4th. He's got Sandro Dulius, who started 3rd, fell back to 6th, is back up into 5th. Luke Smith started all the way in the back, 15th position, now worked his way to 6th. Logan Aron is up to 7th. He is over top of Tim Ventic. Now remember, if Logan finishes 1 through 8th and outscores Tim in those positions, he'll win the championship. Nicolo Falzarezzi is 10th. Dion Stahl is 11th. Jovan Rusic in 12th. Vincenzo Torri and Noah Smith we saw make those pit stops. Looks like possibly Senna Haywire made a pit stop as well. So we should get the notification this time by that the safety car will be in this lap. And unfortunately for Ivan Brito, that is a league-leading 9th DNF of the season. Tough break for him. And we see Senna Haywire has now crashed out of the race under the safety car. So not sure if that's on purpose or if Senna is really that bad. In either case, that will be Senna's official 7th DNF of the season. So even as Max Mulder, as his race engineer, served the qualifying ban, Senna still managed to crash and under safety car conditions nonetheless. So that's the one thing I will say about this league, that there is a large gap and a disparity between the top drivers and the bottom drivers. When you have guys like Logan Aron and Simone Mara and guys like Senna Haywire, sometimes it's not about car count, sometimes it's about race quality, and Senna is not one of those drivers that brings quality to the league, unfortunately. That's just one commentator's opinion, and it looks like, is that Logan that crashed under... So was that him crashing under the safety car? Is that a glitch? His car just kind of popped up into the air and was in the wall. Trying to see if he's got any wing damage. It looks like maybe the right front end plate might be gone, and that drops him outside of the points. Tim Ventic now 8th, and that keeps Tim Ventic's championship points contention alive. And there is right front end plate damage to Logan's car, and he is going to dive into the pits as we go back to green flag racing. So this is bad news bears for Logan Aron here at the Miami Grand Prix as we get back underway. Friat Bile trying to stay in touch of Simone Mara. Simone Mara pulls away, but we've got a battle going on here. And caution flag flies in Sector 1. I can't get anything to work. What is going on here? I don't want... I'm sorry, everybody. I'm trying to make things work. I do not like the commentator controls here, but we're trying to pick up this battle here. Sandro Dulius and Nick Van Gelder. And this is Luke Smith to the inside of Van Gelder. And he is going to pick up the 5th position. Sandro all over the back of Christian Dorman, trying to get back to that 3rd position where he started. And I do believe it was because of Christian Dorman with a huge run down into turn 1, went full send, shoulder checked 3 cars. I believe that's how Christian got that position. Sandro's going to want it back. Meanwhile, the battle's not over for 5th as Nick is trying to get that position back from Luke Smith. Tim Ventic now up to 7th. He's got Nicolo Falzarezzi all over the back of him. And we're only on lap 7 of 29, and it's been a wild race so far. You see this whole gaggle of cars all running nose to tail right now. And Luke Smith is all over the back of Sandro now. Sandro was trying to run offense, trying to get around Christian Dorman. Now Sandro finds himself trying to run defense to hold off Luke Smith and a hard-charging Nick Van Gelder as well. And this is a good bunch of drivers right here. Sandro Dulius, Luke Smith, Nick Van Gelder, all tenured drivers here in SRL. Sandro, obviously the league president. As we see, Logan Aron's going to pick up a couple of positions up into 12th as Noah Smith and Dion Stahl dive into the pits. You've got Luke Smith trying to get around Sandro, another long-tenured driver, used to race full-time, now races part-time. And then obviously behind them, you've got Nick Van Gelder, who's been with the league for a number of years. He was a Season 4 champion, which was honestly one of the most exciting seasons that we've had here in SRL history. And then, oh, you see Christian Dorman's gone around. And Christian Dorman's done. He is done. Looks like he might have gotten T-boned in that area. Here comes Logan. Logan is coming up on this accident as we speak. And it looks like the virtual safety car is out. So Christian Dorman, who was running in 3rd, looks like he might have cut that corner a little too close. Oh, look at that car. That is completely botched there. Left front suspension completely collapsed in. Dorman was running 3rd. It looks like he might have cut that corner a little too hard, banged the wall, turned it, and then possibly got T-boned. And now it's a safety car is out. That is that yellow car there picking up Simone Mara. So another full course caution. And now Logan might be able to pick up a number of spots since he kind of pitted on that last safety car. So that moves Sandro Dulius up into 2nd. Looks like Friat Bile may have been a part of that melee with Christian Dorman. Hard to say. And this puts Tim into 4th. So Tim now 4th position, Logan Aron 11th. There, that would definitely keep Tim's championship hopes alive, and it would keep them alive for the 2nd week in a row. Logan had a chance last week to lock up the championship, was unable to do it at Mexico. There's a lot of people pulling for Logan to try and pull that off this week here in America. It'd be great to see the American win on American soil, the championship. The championship at SRL that has eluded him for the last couple seasons. And I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to be honest. As much as I like Logan and as fast as a driver as he is, this is his best opportunity to win the championship for SRL, because as it looks right now, I'm just going to say it, Simone Mara is going to walk away with the championship next season, hands down. And that's disappointing. I don't think there's going to be much of a championship fight next year. No takers on pit road. So we started with 17 cars. We're down to 13, very reminiscent of Singapore a couple of rounds ago. Last week we were in Mexico. We had 17 cars. We finished with 14. But if you go back to Singapore, we started with 15 cars and ended with 10. So at least everybody got points that finished. It looks like Vincenzo Torri has gone into the pits. Trying to drink my coffee here. Christian Dorman has officially left the session. He DNF'd. He's the one that brought out this latest safety car. So let's pick up everybody. So it looks like Friab Bile, Nick Van Gelder, Robin Herterstag, and Yerma Rusic and Logan Aran all pitted for new tires. I thought Vincenzo Torri had gone into the pits. Doesn't look like he did, maybe. I thought I was just maybe seeing things. And we'll go back to Simone Mara, the leader of this race. He's led since the green flag. And we should get the notification that the safety car will come in this time by. We'll go back to green flag racing once again, but for how long is the question? And Ivan Brito on the live chat, how did I break my tire? The crash was so soft and slow, I'm in shock. That's unfortunate for Ivan Brito. Ivan has struggled at times this season, but Ivan has also showed flashes of brilliance this season, specifically back in Spa where he had a great race. He is a Grand Prix race winner in IRL F2. He is a points finisher here on multiple occasions in SRL. He is a fan favorite, as a lot of the guys from the Portuguese Racing League like to tune in and watch him. He is friends with other Portuguese and former SRL driver Jorge Correa, who we certainly miss having here in SRL. So Ivan Brito still in shock, unfortunately. Yes, a league-leading 9 DNFs, but I don't think that's justification. He is and can be a good driver on many occasions. So tough break for Ivan. Hopefully he comes back next week and puts some points on the board. As apparently we are going to circulate under the safety car one more time. Simone Mara is your leader. He's led from the green flag. He is in his second race with SRL. He's got now 2 pole positions to his credit. He's followed by the longest tenured driver and president of the league, Sandro Dulius. Luke Smith, another long tenured driver here and reserve driver. Used to be full-time, but now is reserve. Currently running in third. Tim Ventic, former series champion, running in fourth position, followed by Nicolo Falzaresi. Falzaresi is another driver who has shown flashes of brilliance this season. Had a great middle portion of this year. Won a couple of races. Got some pole positions. Got some podiums. Worked his way fourth into points. And he's actually got an opportunity to close the points gap to third in points, which is Aleski, because Aleski is not racing today. Friab Bile, currently running in 6th, has not finished outside of the top 6 in SRL since he made his debut. We finally get the notification that the safety car will be in this lap. And then Nick Van Gelder is your series starting in 7th here on the restart. Looks like Simone Mara is slowing down the pack big time. You see how bunched up these cars are. And looks like he is back to green flag racing. So, and we've got a caution flag sector 3. So looks like some cars got jumbled in all of that mess, but Simone Mara off to the races. Sandro Dulius got Luke Smith all over the back of him now. Caution flag flying sector 3. Looks like that's one of the Ferraris is around. That's going to be Dion Stahl as Luke Smith is battling side by side with Dion's teammates, Sandro, and Luke is going to get that position. And here comes Tim Ventic to the inside of Sandro. And it looks like Tim's going to get that position as well as he goes around the outside and picks up the 3rd spot away from Sandro Dulius. And now Sandro under the gun from Nicolo Falzarezzi. And Falzarezzi trying to find a way around. And Sandro's got Falzarezzi to the inside, now to the outside, back to the outside. DRS slot open. Here comes Falzarezzi. And back to the inside. Sandro's going to try and hold him off. Falzarezzi's going to go way around the outside, cut the corner just a little bit, and get that position over Sandro. Sandro now back into 5th position. And he's got Friab Bile coming in behind him in 6th. So Sandro with a tough restart. Started in 2nd. He has fallen back into 5th, and he's in the clutches of Friab Bile. Friab's going to go to the inside, down the straightaway. Gets around Sandro Dulius for the 5th position. Meanwhile, Logan Arand has found his way up into 7th as he just got around Robin Herderstegen for the 7th position, trying to work his way back into the field. Remember, he needs to score 2 more points than Tim Ventic in order to secure the championship here on home soil. Right now, Tim is running in the 3rd position. Logan back in 7th. And Logan now taking and setting his sights on Sandro Dulius for the 6th position. This has been a really tough restart for Sandro. Ivan Brito in the live chat saying he is going to come back next season even stronger. And we certainly look forward to that. There's still some races to go to make up for lost time in this season as it does wind down. Logan now all over the back of Sandro. Cuts to the outside. And Sandro looks like he's a little slow on the straights. These guys are making these passes around him without the DRS. Unless there's a glitch and I can't see that the DRS wings are open, but I don't know if Sandro's running too much downforce or if he's having some sort of throttle issue. And Vincenzo Torri picks up a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting. Vincenzo currently running in the 11th position. And looks like Tim Ventic and Nicolo Falzarezzi battling it out for the 3rd spot. Nicolo gets around him. So DRS is now enabled. So Sandro did lose all of those spots without the help of DRS from any of the drivers. So Sandro struggling a little bit here, possibly with car setup, possibly something electronically wrong with the vehicle or his setup at home. We've got Parsa on the live chat. I'm not 100% sure what the Instagram is. The Instagram link should be in the description for today's race. You can certainly contact us through there. That is the easiest way to get in touch for Parsa if he wants to try and join the league for the remainder of this season, heading into next season. Currently watching Tim Ventic trying to get that 3rd position back from Nicolo Falzarezzi. Meanwhile, Friab Bile's worked his way back into 5th, and he is also now setting his sights on Tim Ventic, and he's bringing Logan Arand with him. So that's your championship points battle right there. Tim Ventic in 4th, trying to hold off Friab Bile, and Logan Arand, your championship points leader, again, needs to outscore Tim Ventic by 2 points to secure the championship here on home soil. And Friab Bile finds himself the meat in the middle of a Haas sandwich. Friab going for the 5th position, or 4th position, gets around Tim, and up into 4th. That's bad news bears for Tim Ventic, as now Logan Arand is going to be behind him, and that's your championship points battle right there, 5th and 6th. There's no love lost between these two teammates. They don't consider themselves a team. They don't operate as a team. It is Tim Ventic versus Logan Arand through and through. Logan Aron now trying to sweep around the outside. We'll hop on board with him. Logan has got a lot of time left in this race. He just needs to be patient if he wants to make this pass. We saw him have that mistake last week at Mexico. He could have secured the championship then. The DRS slot open on Tim's car. It's also open on Logan's car. They're now side by side as they head down on the next corner. Who's going to have it? Logan's going to try and go around the outside. Tim's going to push him just a little wide. And Logan is going to get it going into the next corner. Oh, and Tim gives him a little bump there at the back end. Logan Aron up into 5th and currently championship points holder. He could win the title if they finished as they are now. Does Tim have anything? Can Tim make the comeback? We're only halfway through this race, and it looks like we've got Falzarezzi is getting around Luke Smith. And what is happening here? This is Falzarezzi, Luke Smith, and Friabile. That is 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, all stuck together. And actually, here comes Logan Aron. He's coming with it. Luke Smith back around Falzarezzi. Falzarezzi trying to come back onto the inside of the next corner. Takes the position back. Luke Smith back to 3rd. Friabile still in 4th. So we've got 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, all within a second of each other. Oh, and a big wiggle for Tim Vente coming out of that corner. He's going to lose a little bit of time on that and falls back from this battle. Meanwhile, here comes Logan Aron, and he's going to try and get around Friabile. Bile is going to let him go by. And Logan Aron is up into 3rd. He's going to set his sights on Luke Smith, but Luke is still trying to find a way around Nicolo Falzarezzi for the 2nd position. Oh, it looks like Luke. It sounded like Luke might have clipped the wall just a little bit there, heading through that corner as we ride on board with him. Get a good shot of Luke's helmet there. A black and red with the stars on it. And here comes Logan Aron. Got the DRS, swings to the inside, and he is going to be easily around Luke Smith for the 3rd position. Logan Aron is on a tear, trying to secure this championship. Meanwhile, it looks like Noah Smith is battling it out with Vincenzo Torri for the 10th position. Remember, Vincenzo has that 5-second time penalty, so Noah going to fall back into the 11th spot. And it looks like we've got a couple of guys heading into the pits. That's Tim Ventic and Sandro Dulius into the pits. It's going to move a couple of drivers up as we continue to watch Falzarezzi trying to hold off Logan Aron. Luke Smith in 4th position. He's trying to hold off Friabile. Meanwhile, Simone Mara is your leader, out in front to the tune of 7 seconds over top of this battle for 2nd and 4th position. I'm sorry, for 2nd and 3rd positions. And Luke Smith is going to try and go to the outside. Falzarezzi going to try and push him just a little bit wide. And Falzarezzi takes a very wide line. That was actually really good defensive driving. I don't know if he did that on purpose or if he outbraked himself heading into that corner, but took the line away from Logan Aron. And it looks like Luke Smith and Friabile were able to close up on that gap just a little bit to this battle. So 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, you could throw a blanket over all of them as they continue to battle it out. And now Logan is going to have the DRS. It's going to come down this front straightaway, or back straightaway, I should say. Easily get around. Nope, Falzarezzi's going to try and stay with him through the braking zone. Logan's going to get it there. Logan up into 2nd spot. And Falzarezzi is going to dive into the pits. He lost the position. He figures now's a good time to get a fresh set of tires. That's going to move Friabile up into the 2nd position because Simone Mara has pitted as well. So Logan Aron out in front. He is your leader, followed by Friabile, followed by Luke Smith through the pit sequence. Here comes Simone Mara out of the pits. Is he going to lose any more positions? Here comes Nick Van Gelder. And Simone Mara is going to be able to come out just in front of Nick. Whoa, and Nick has run wide. He almost took himself out, clipped the wall. And that is going to put him in the clutches of Vincenzo Torri and Robin Herderstagen. So 5th, 6th, and 7th now. And again, Vincenzo Torri has a 5-second time penalty. That's going to hurt him at the end of this race. Meanwhile, Nicolo Falzarezzi has just gotten around Noah Smith for the 8th position, as we watch this battle for 5th. And Nick Van Gelder picks up a 3-second time penalty. And Noah Smith picks up a 3-second time penalty. So now the time penalties are starting to come in, which could affect the finishing order for some of these guys. And it looks like Nick is actually kind of holding up traffic. He's got Vincenzo Torri behind him. Nicolo Falzarezzi's coming with him. And Robin Herderstagen losing that position out to Falzarezzi. Doesn't want to quite give it up just yet, but you got 4 cars here you could throw a blanket over. And now Robin Herderstagen is going to dive into the pits and make his pit stop. You still see Vincenzo Torri trying to get around Nick Van Gelder. And Tim Ventic just ran the fastest lap of this race, a 1:34.32. Vincenzo loses the back end, almost crashes into his teammate, Falzarezzi. And Tim Ventic, the first driver to crack into the 130s under race conditions. And Falzarezzi trying to find a way around his teammate. Almost had the position, got it taken away. And now Falzarezzi is back out in front of him, up into the 6th position. He'll set his sights on Nick Van Gelder for 5th. Meanwhile, we do have a battle going on back here. This is Noah Smith and Tim Ventic. Noah had a great qualifying effort, making his SRL debut. He's had a little bit of an up and down day here under the race conditions, but still finds himself in the points. And Sandro Dulius is about 3.5 seconds back from this battle, so Noah has a very good opportunity to put some points on the board here in his SRL debut. That'd be great for him. We go back to the battle for 5th. This is Nick Van Gelder. He's got Falzarezzi on his outside. Nick's trying to take the defensive line. Simone Mara just ran the fastest lap of this race. He's now the first driver to crack into the 129s with a 129.774. Nick Van Gelder loses the back end of the car, loses 2 positions, and that is a 2-for-1 deal gone wrong as he loses out on 2 spots and puts himself in the clutches of Tim Ventic now. Meanwhile, it looks like Dion Stahl and Jurma Rusic have gotten around Noah Smith. Noah has dived into the pits. Fresh set of tires. Looks like he's going to fall back, and he'll be coming out of 13th position. That puts Jurma Rusic up into 10th. Sandro Dulius is now 9th. And we still go back. This is still the closest battle on track. This is Nick trying to get back to the 6th position. Tim Ventic coming with him. So 6th, 7th, and 8th is still the closest battle on track right now. Dion Stahl is battling it out with Jurma Rusic to try and get himself into the top 10 and garner 1 championship point. And Nick trying to find a way around Vincenzo Torri. Now, Vincenzo's got that 5-second time penalty. Nick has a 3-second time penalty. So Nick's got to get around him and garner himself an extra 2 seconds to try and keep the position. Meanwhile, Tim Ventic is behind these two with no timing penalty and on a fresher set of tires. And Simone Mara, again, 129.698, goes a 10th quicker than his last fastest lap. We'll hop on board with Nick Van Gelder as they come around to start another circuit. Oh, and here, look at the move by Tim Ventic. Didn't even see that coming as we were riding on board. I thought Nick would make a move, and Tim Ventic's going to try and get a 2-for-1 deal heading into that corner, but he can't make it stick. Meanwhile, Nick's going to try and come back and get that position. But Tim, the over-under with the crossover move, can't make it stick there. Goes around the outside of Falzarezzi. I'm sorry, goes around the outside of Vincenzo Torri, and we've got a caution flag sector 1. Looks like that might have been Jurma Rusic. Oh, caution flags flies. Sector 1, 2, and 3, and we are possibly under another safety car. Looks like a virtual safety car right now. So Tim Ventic up into 6th. A great move over Vincenzo Torri to take that spot away. Nick Van Gelder falls back to 8th. Meanwhile, Logan Aron is still your leader. And it looks like we're back to green flag racing. DRS is enabled, so quick virtual safety car there. Free Abile running quietly in second with Luke Smith running behind him in third. Luke. Looks like that is Simone Mara who just took the third position. So it was Luke that lost the back end. And this is Logan making a pit stop. I'm getting all my cars mixed up here. I'm sorry, folks. So Logan pits from the lead. He's going to lose a few spots. Swaps over to the medium tires. And he is going to come out third position, which still puts him in front of Tim Ventic. Meanwhile, Simone Mara is going to be running in second position. He is 3.1 seconds behind Free Abile. Freeab's already made his stop. Is today the day. 3-second gap. Free Abile over top of Simone Mara. Can Freeab hold that gap from the hard-charging Simone Mara? We've seen Simone Mara set a couple of quick hot laps running in the 129s. And he is coming with a head of steam. That gap is now down to 2.5 seconds. Free Abile trying to... Oh, we got a caution flag fly. Sector 1 looks like that might be one of the Ferraris. Is that Dion Stahl? Looks like Dion Stahl's had an issue. At turn 1. And Nick Van Gelder picks up another 3-second time penalty. So now he's in danger of possibly even finishing outside. Well, that's 6 seconds. Robin Herderstagen could possibly get there. And we see Luke Smith is working his way around Tim Ventic. Meanwhile, Sandro Dulius is closing the gap down to Vincenzo Torri. But the battle for the lead is starting to heat up. Unfortunately, Free Abile has not been able to hold on to that 3-second gap, not even for remotely very long. That gap is now down to 1.8 seconds. Simone Mara coming with a huge head of steam. Free Abile still trying to find that maiden win. He's made an impressive SRL debut when he started this season mid-course. I think he came in around 9, I believe, with his debut. He's not finished outside of the top 6. He has garnered a lot of podiums in that time. Unfortunately, a win has eluded him, and it looks like it is going to continue to elude him. 1.2 seconds. Here comes Simone Mara. He's almost within DRS range. And Free Abile, yeah, he's got 6 podiums to his credit so far this season. And it looks like he's on his way to picking up his 7th podium finish of the season, as Simone Mara is now within DRS striking distance. Didn't get it that time by on the activation zone, but currently within 0.9 of a second. And a bad corner by Free Abile and a great corner by Simone Mara. That is gone from 0.9 to 0.3. And here comes Simone Mara, the battle for the lead of this race. Simone, the faster driver. He's on the fresher tires. There's not going to be a whole lot Free Abile can do about this, unfortunately. And now on to the back straightaway. Actually, I guess this would be, I don't know, is this the front straightaway? It's got a dog leg to it. But here comes Simone Mara. And Free Abile is going to run him all the way down to the wall, but to the outside goes Simone Mara. Freeab's going to try and outbrake him, and he just makes contact with him. Almost loses the back end of the car. Free Abile down into second. Meanwhile, Logan Arand has got Nicolo Falzarezzi all over the back of him for the final podium position. Now, Logan could finish in 4th. It would be inconsequential to the championship, as he would win the championship by outscoring Tim Ventic. However, it looks like Falzarezzi cut that corner way tight to try and stay with Logan Arand. And it looks like that is a lap car. That's possibly Dion Stahl in front of these two. Here comes Falzarezzi. Looks like he was going to maybe try and throw it down in there. Thought better of it. Cuts back in line. 4 laps to go here at the Miami Grand Prix. We're watching Logan Aron trying to hold off Nicolo Falzarezzi. And caution flag flies sector 1 and 3. Looks like it might have been a quick on-off. Now sector 3. I don't know who that is. Is that one of the Red Bulls? Looks like that might be Jure Marusic again. And Jure looks like he gets the car straight and gets going. Actually, no, it was Nick Van Gelder. Nick Van Gelder had a problem at the last corner, and looks like he's dived into the pits now. So that was Nick that brought out that local yellow in sector 3. Robin Herterstegen is going to move up. Noah Smith is going to pick up a position as well. And it looks like Falzarezzi has fallen off of this battle just a little bit. Hasn't been able to stick with Logan. Here as the laps wind down. 4 laps remaining here. Tim Ventic running in 6th position. Logan Aron running in 3rd. Logan on his way to clinching this championship that eluded him last year. And Logan, one of the fastest pad drivers that this league has ever seen. He has a championship in IRL F1 series. He's got a championship in the IRS series. That's International Racing League and then International Racing Series. Both online leagues. He has won a championship with them. Now trying to do it here at his new home at the SRL. And while there are many SRL leagues, there's only one Sandro Racing League. Caution flag flies sector 2. Looks like that's another Red Bull. Is that Nick Van Gelder again, possibly, or is it Jure Marusic this time? Caution flag flies sector 1. That's one of the McLarens that's having an issue. And currently, this is your closest battle on track. We continue to watch Nicolo Falzarezzi try and find his way around Logan Aron, championship points leader. Now, Logan would have loved to have won this race to clinch that championship, but a podium finish will do just fine if he can stay there. 3 laps to go. Meanwhile, nothing's changed at the front. Simone Mara still leads this race. He's out in front to the tune of 2.4 seconds. Free Abile has tried staying with him, but unable to do it. You've got this battle here for 3rd. Meanwhile, there is a battle that started to heat up between Tim Ventic and Sandro Dulius for the 6th position. Sandro is now within DRS range of that, so he could possibly get that position. Robin Herterstegen running in 9th, would love to try and close that gap to Vincenzo Torri. Torri's got a 5-second timing penalty, so he could pick up an extra position if he could close that gap. Meanwhile, Noah Smith is going to be the last driver in the points. And Nick Van Gelder's race has fallen apart. He ran inside the top 10 most of the day. Had an issue a couple of laps ago, fell back, and looks like he's been struggling with the car ever since. Nick is down into the 11th position. He was as high as 4th at one point. So as the laps have wind down here, so has the action. And Falzarezzi just picked up a 3-second timing penalty. So now Logan's got himself a little bit of an insurance over top of Falzarezzi. So even if Falzarezzi does make the pass for the 3rd position, Falzarezzi would have to make that 3-second gap in order to keep that position. So it looks like at this point, Logan Aron can cruise his way to his first SRL championship. And let's be clear, folks, this isn't all for naught. This isn't just an online thing. Sandro Dulius will go out of his way to have a trophy made and sent to the championship-winning driver every season. So there is a very nice trophy to be had, and not just bragging rights for these guys. One of the few leagues that I know of that will actually hand out a trophy for such things and not just post it online. And again, Falzarezzi, even with the DRS slot open, can't find a way around Logan Aron for that 3rd position. And Vincenzo Torri picks up a 3-second timing penalty on top of his 5-second timing penalty. And we're going to pick up Sandro Dulius. Looks like Sandro just got around Tim Ventic for the 6th position. Tim trying to get it back, though, as he comes down to the inside. And now they're wheel to wheels. They head through through the last corner and onto the front straightaway. Tim tries to do the crossover, swings back to the outside. Oh, and they're wheel to wheel. Looks like Tim's going to make a little bit of contact with Sandro. They come through the next corner side by side. They're making it work. Tim's still there. And Tim is still there. Great driving by these two guys. They head to the next corner. Tim's going to be able to cut across the nose of Sandro, take that position back. And Tim is going to be back up into the 6th position. Tim racing for pride at this point. Caution flag flies sector 2. And there's a Red Bull in that area again. I don't think it's one of the Red Bulls, though. It might be Dion. Well, it could be Dion and Jurma Rusic, so it could be a Red Bull involved. So continue to watch this battle here, the battle for 6th position. Oh, and a big wiggle there by Tim Ventic. Manages to hang on to it. Caution flag flying sector 1. And that is definitely a Red Bull around, so... Meanwhile, Robin Hertersteigen and Noah Smith swapping positions. So we have started the final lap of this race as we continue to watch this battle unfold here for the 6th position. Tim racing for pride at this point. Looks like Logan Aron's going to be able to clinch the championship here at round 19 at Miami. The American is going to do it on American soil. We've got Dion Stahl. Looks like he's around. Caution flag flies sector 3. Meanwhile, Noah Smith and Robin Hertersteigen still battling it out for that 9th position. And Sandro trying to diamond that corner a little bit. Whoa, Tim Ventic slides the rear wheels coming out of that corner, trying to put the power down. That's going to give Sandro the opportunity to get into the slipstream here. Gets the DRS slot open. Swings to the outside. Whoa, and Tim's going to run him all the way to the outside. And they're side by side. Tim's going to push him wide. Sandro's not going to give it up that easy. He's going to come back across the corner, rubs his tires on the inside wall, trying to get the car to make that corner. Sandro's going to take the position. Great driving by these two. Tim Ventic picks up the 3-second time penalty. That's the nail in the coffin that Sandro needed for that position. And unfortunately, we just missed Simone Mara across the line, but there's your race winner. Freya Bile behind him. Here comes Logan Aron, your championship winner. Nicolo Falzarezzi in 4th. Luke Smith is going to come across the line in 5th. Luke Smith with another stellar drive from the back to the front, pulling the Kyle Larson as he's going to finish in the 5th position. Tim Ventic, he's got 6th position now, but Sandro's going to be able to take that away from him with the timing penalty. Sandro's going to get 6th. Tim is 7th. And then Vincenzo Torri, who's got a multitude of timing penalties that have to be accounted for. At least 8 seconds worth of penalties. So that's going to put Noah Smith into possibly the position. Robin Hertersteigen could possibly come out on top. So Vincenzo Torri comes across 8th. Here comes Noah Smith. That position's going to get swapped. And Robin Hertersteigen comes out on top of both of them as he's going to get 8th, and that's going to drop Vincenzo Torri all the way down to 10th. Nick Van Gelder is going to be the last car on the lead lap. Nick's race, he started off strong. Like I said, ran top 10 most of the day, was as high as 4th, falling back into the 11th position now. Tried putting those soft tires on and running the fastest lap. Couldn't make that happen. Season 4 champion's going to come across the line in 11th. His teammate will be credited with 12th. And Dion Stahl, bad day for him as he's going to finish in the 13th position. What an amazing race SRL has had here at the Miami Grand Prix. I can almost guarantee you that today's race far more entertaining than what we're going to see in real life F1. Driver of the day is going to go to Nicolo Falzarezzi from the game. However, collectively, my driver of the day, driver of the weekend, is going to be Logan Aron as the American walks away with his first championship. But right now, it's time for Simone Mara to get his time in the limelight. 2 wins in 2 races. Simone Mara batting 1,000. 2 races, 2 pole positions, 2 wins, making himself a name very quickly here in SRL. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with next season. Freya Bile keeps up his success. Another podium finish for him. Has never finished outside of the top 6. Consistency is key. And then obviously Logan Aran finishing third. That is going to clinch the SRL Season 9 championship for Logan Aran. Congratulations to him. The American does it on American soil. Unofficial results, Simone Morrow with the win. Friab Bile was second. Logan Aran, your championship winner here. Nicolo Falzarezzi started 12th, worked his way up into fourth. Luke Smith is fifth. Sandro Dulia is sixth. Tim Ventic, seventh. Robin Herdersteigen, eighth. Noah Smith in his SRL debut finishes ninth. Vincenzo Torre is 10th. Nick Van Gelder, 11th. Yuma Rusic is 12th, followed by Dion Stahl, 14th through 17th. That's Christian Dorman, Senna Haywire, Ivan Brito, and Harley Collins, all credited with DNFs. An amazing race today. And congratulations to Logan Aran, and shout out to Samuel Brandt saying Red Bull is now Dead Bull. And yes, Nick Van Gelder, Yuma Rusic need to get some things sorted out as they head into next season. But the season's not over. Even though Logan has just won the championship, the American wins it on home soil. The season's not over. There's still a few races left to go this season before we get set up for the summer break. So be sure to like, subscribe, and comment to the YouTube channel. Check us out on the internet. You can also check us out on Instagram. Contact us through there if you would like to be a part of this racing league moving forward. Another unbelievable race today. And again, congratulations to Logan Aran. Be sure to follow us on Instagram for any news and notes following today's race and heading into the next one. I'm Kamikaze Fox. This has been SRL F1 2022 on the PlayStation platform, and we will see everybody at the next round.